So we're back working on this 14 Jeep Grand Cherokee with the CAN bus nightmare. I spoke with the customer last night and he indicated that active drivetrain management switch was replaced with a used part just recently, but he had the problem before that. Aside from that, he thinks the vehicle might have been in a rear end collision before he bought it. I don't think that's relevant. He says when it acts up, the wipers will come on, the headlights will come on, and then if it's running, he can't shut it off and he can't take it out of park, which all makes sense because the CAN bus is necessary for the communication between the shifter module and the steering column control module and the instrument cluster. So I've got a harness. I salvaged a couple of these connectors from a salvage yard. And I've got the CAN bus connector teed into this. So the yellow and green is on CAN plus and minus at the star CAN IP connector right here. And the blue and red is at the other connector over on the tunnel. And if I take this 3-wire plug out, it'll separate the two networks, or separate the network in half, and I'll have the signals coming from one side and the other simultaneously. So I'm going to drive this vehicle and hopefully it's going to act up and doesn't leave me stranded on the road. And we're going to see if we can get it to malfunction. Well, that's frustrating. I just came back from about a 35-kilometer road test over highways and gravel roads, and it didn't skip a beat. No warning lights, no breakdown in network communication. So I think I'm going to be proactive and replace this one star connector that I have, because this one's a little bit more difficult to get to than the one on the right side. I don't have another one. They have a new one at the dealership. It's about $140, but I don't know what else to do. If I disconnect this 3-wire plug, you got to have a pick to remove that. I'm trying with my fingernail, but I can't get in there. If I disconnect this 3-wire plug that connects the two networks together, it simulates the problem. So I've had multiple connectors unplugged here, and it could have been just pin fitment or oxidation on the pins, although this vehicle is pristine inside. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. I got to start firing the parts cannon, I suppose, but hopefully with small bullets to begin with. I think I'm going to, like I said, replace this one star CAN connector and with a used one that I have from a Ram. These are apparently the same from 2011 to 2026, according to the dealer, as long as it's got the same number of terminals. I think this has got 13. So let's do that. Notice with that 3-wire plug disconnected, separating the two networks, they're out of sync with each other, but they're still communicating on their own proprietary little bit. But now you see the wipers are on, brake warning light is on, park brake warning light is on, seatbelt or airbag light is on because of the knee bolster airbag out of it. So let's change this star CAN connector and then clear all the codes. So there's the star CAN connector. You see it located behind the headlight switch, but you can't get the connections unplugged realistically without taking it down and dropping both of them down into this area here. So I've changed out that one with a used one that I got out of a Ram. I'm connected to the 6 and 14 CAN C. And we're going to do a network scan now and clear all the codes out of it. I put some of this Stabiliton 22A on each one of the CAN bus terminals. Just put it right inside the connector and on the female part of the connector, and then plug it in. So there should be codes in most of the CAN bus computers. 7 codes in the PCM, 3 in the TCM, 4 in the BCM, 5 in the IPC, 4 in the radio frequency hub, 2 in the ABS, 4 in the occupant restraints, 2 in the TPMS, as you could see, 3 in the radio. All network. Well, we got a copy of this report. Let's clear all the DTCs. Well, I gonna have the DTC and the occupant restraint airbag system for the driver's knee bolster disconnected right now. So I'll go back in and clear that once I reinstall it. Yeah, there's 1 code in the occupant restraint. This way, I'm going to take it to town probably this evening and see if it acts up. I'm going to try and acquire another one of these star CAN connectors. I marked this one CAN C from the Jeep because I'm not sure of its integrity. And I'm going to get another one from the salvage yard just to have it. And the one on the tunnel on the right side of the dash is easier to get to than the one underneath the dash on the driver's side. So let's put the car back together. Well, there it is back together. I had a problem with that driver knee bolster connector wasn't plugged in completely seated, and I had a shorted circuit code, but I cleared that. I managed to reconnect it properly. So there was just the one license plate light problem in the BCM. It won't set that code until it tries to turn the lights on. Let's see if that populates when I turn the lights on. I turned the parking lights on, so that's not a live report. Let's see if it shows it now. Yeah. So that's good to know that that's not a live report like it is on the Snap-on scanner. So I looked at those license plate lights, and they're a socket assembly, and they're all corroded and melted. So he's going to have to buy those from the dealer. I'm in the BCM now, and I've got the license plate light codes. I'm looking at it with the Snap-on scanner. I'm going to clear the codes. I can do that running, but I'll go back and make sure that they're gone. Now I'm going to turn the park lights on, and you'll see what I mean by this code menu being live. Turning on the park lights now. So it came on and it's active and then stored. Whereas the Think tool, just you have to request it to display the codes again. Subtle differences in different scan tools. So I'm going to drive this thing into town. I'm going to talk to the customer. I'm going to drive it into town this evening. That's about 70 kilometers there and back. And see how it performs. I've done a network scan, and there's no codes in any controllers other than this license lamp code in the BCM. And one of the lights under the dash, like a courtesy light, footwell light, is burnt out, and I'm going to have to tell them about that too. So I've driven it from my place to town, which is about 37 kilometers. I stopped twice for parts, and I'm doing a network scan, and the only codes is in the body control module for the license plate lamp circuits. I did stop at the salvage yard and pick up another star CAN connector Can't see. I grabbed the other one as well from a 2016 Ram. They're right behind the below the steering column on the left hand side, wrapped in a sponge around the harness, so they're easy to get to. But there's 20, how many controllers are on the network here? 21 controllers, and only codes is in the body control module. So we're gonna drive it some more and drive it back home again and see what happens. So we're back from town, approximately 100 kilometers of driving, shut it off multiple times at different parts stores. Network looks perfect, no anomalies, and the only code is for the license plate lights. So how do you fix this thing when it's not broken now? So was it a connection at one of the CAN bus connectors, start CAN connectors that I cycled? Was it that start CAN connector that I changed on the driver's side here? I'll post a follow-up in the comments in a week or sooner if something transpires, and let you guys know if this fixed it. But that's it for now. That's all we can do. We can't fix it if it isn't broken. Frustrating. Thanks for watching.